So you have your method and your raw materials always written in one place. What you call notes and a journal, I would highly advise that you start keeping a grimoire. A grimoire is a book, preferably unruled, which has all the information that you require to cast a spell. Now, to cite an example, say you have, let's take the simplest method, the simplest ritual, which is where you do a moon ritual. So we'll do a full moon ritual. Okay, so in this example, you have a full moon ritual in which you require certain items that you want to intensify in terms of vibration, and you want to spellcast right under the moon. So on a full moon, you keep that particular item in a utensil. That utensil should be made of glass, so that when the moonlight falls, then it's captured, the magic is captured, and your items are spellcast. Ensure that it's open and not covered. So that is a method. The moon ritual is a method, full moon ritual. And the items, you will require water, you will require salt, you might require the glass utensil per se. In case you have any writing instruments like pens, pencils, highlighters, because we spellcast everything right here at Drakaina. Every item that is in Drakaina is spellcasted, very heavily spellcasted. So to cite an example, going back to the moon ritual, the full moon ritual, the raw materials that you will require are, like I said, the glass utensil, the writing instruments, the books or the grimoires that you own, the salt or the sugar or the bay leaf or anything extra that has to be presented and is part of the spellcasting for the moon ritual. When we talk about the direction of a spell, you need to know where are you going to be placing the altar. I'm talking about the basics here. If we go into the details, it will take us longer than just one video, maybe even two. So when we are talking about the direction of a spell, essentially what you mean is, where are you placing your altar? This is a mobile altar. This is not a permanent fixed altar like the ones that we have in Drakaina. Say you're traveling, or say you are a spellcaster who likes to use mobile altars. So if you are going to pull something towards you, and that is what the spell is all about, then that is towards the east. If you want to push something away, then that is towards the west, just like the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Similarly, if there is a crossroads spell, you have crossroads spell in which your altar has to be bang in the middle. That is also important. The positioning of the altar will determine the kind of energy that you're attracting, or the kind of energy that you're releasing. The intention when it comes to a spell has to be completely stationary once it has been set. The setting of an intention is always before you start a spell. Only after you set an intention do you decide and zero in on one spell, and then you decide to collect all the raw materials and then apply the method of spell casting to get the job done. The process from start to finish, from commencement to conclusion of a spell, starts from your intention and finishes with not just the disposal of the raw materials, but also the further instructions that include, if in case you have to keep a picture and dispose it at a later date, or if you have to do a particular chant, that will depend on the kind of spell that you have decided to cast. When you are expecting a result, it is but obvious that you will expect it because you've may put the effort to cast a spell. In case somebody else is casting it for you, you will obviously have similar expectations to see the kind of results that you desire. Having said that, your result and your expectation totally depends on what kind of energy have you put in. If you're going to be restless and you're sitting with somebody in the car, till the time you don't reach the destination, you can keep asking, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Have we reached? How much time? The person driving the car gets anxious. Notice the energy in the vehicle and what have you created. Instead of getting anxious about reaching the end point, the end of your spellcasting process, I would highly advise that you focus on the process and then release the expectation. Once you release the expectation, the result will come to you with that much more intensity and intention of speed. Focus is something that I prize because it takes a lot of energy out, but it's definitely worth it. Before you spellcast, during your spellcasting, the same kind of focus cannot be applied because the intensity increases as you get deeper and deeper into the spellcasting process. So if you're going to focus before you spellcast, obviously it has to get all the stuff together, raw materials together, right? Arrange your altar in a certain way. Maintain a certain vibrational frequency around your spellcasting area. Preparation is what your focus should be resting on before the spellcasting process. But during a spellcasting process, it gets even more intense. You have to ensure that you remove any low vibe from within you because it does have an effect on the spell. For example, if you really have to get somewhere in time and you're like, oh my god, the candle's not finishing and I need to go and perhaps arrange for dinner or go and make that phone call or get ready for a party. So your mind, your focus has already moved to the future. Because of that, the current process does get affected. It's not so easy, otherwise every second person would have been a spellcaster. If you want to be better than the best, you will have to be, you'll have to start from somewhere, and people really undermine the focus, the focal aspect of spellcasting. During your spellcasting, ensure you're in the moment, in mind, body and spirit, and ensure that you are prepared beforehand. Leave anything out that adds to the clutter. Leave anything out that increases your anxiety, and you'll do fine. Over a decade ago, when I started my journey, the whole idea was, and remember this is something that someone told me a long time ago, that if you are going to cut, copy, paste something that someone else has tried, neither will you grow as a person in terms of spellcasting, nor will you be able to learn the process in a way that only you can learn if you teach yourself. Clear? So when you're talking about spellcasting, when you're talking about experimenting, they go hand in hand. They're like siblings. Because if you want to personalize it, you have to tweak it. That's how the cookie crumbles. If you take a ritual and if you follow everything the way that the ritual teaches you, if you don't put in your personal flavor to it, then there will be that little bit of effort that you could have put, but you chose not to. The reasons could be many. The reasons could be you're not confident enough. The reasons could be you trust that person who created the spell more than your own self. The reason could be anything. So yes, tweaking or personalizing the spell is very important when it comes to spellcasting. And experimenting requires confidence. It requires you to be a constant practitioner, because you can't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to do this spell, but then I'll tweak it to my own, personal rendition of it. Because you have to practice that spell that you have seen somewhere a couple of times before you're confident enough to do it without the tweaking, and then you can go ahead and make minutesimal changes. I'm not saying change the whole spell or change a whole section of it, but you can replace it. Say, instead of white salt or sea salt, you can use black salt or you can use rock salt, right? Similarly, you can change the writing instrument from, say, a pencil to a pen, so on and so forth. They could be from very tiny to huge, monumental. Depends on the kind of spell that you're conducting. Say if it's a If it's an ordinary spell and it's something that is doable, like say a money spell or say a relationship spell or I'd say even a luck spell, then that's fine. And if you make a mistake, like say you burnt the wrong candle, you snuffed the candle a little before time or after time, or if you don't follow the method in the first few moments and then you go ahead and quickly try to recover your speed of the process, then that's all handleable. But if you are going to handle some serious spells like black magic reversal, curse removal, karmic baggage, health related spells, of course, relationship spells that involve cord cuttings and cord rejoinings, I would say it could, I have come across people who have contacted me because they made a mistake while conducting the spell, and the damage control that requires to be done is huge in terms not just of money but also of a long time in terms of energy and healing, because you have to rewind it, you have to rewind it, you have to go back into the past of the spell, you have to fix it, and then you have to play it in the present into the forward future. So that's how it is. So it involves a lot of quantum metaphysics for sure. But having said that, I don't want to scare you that, no, my God, I don't want to take any chance. If you're not confident about a spell, start with something simple. Remember, you didn't start writing sentences before you learned the alphabet. So give yourself time. Spellcasting doesn't happen to anyone overnight. In fact, though we do spellcast in Drakaina, every time that we spellcast, it's magical how this journey teaches us something new. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to write them in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next couple of reels. Thank you, and see you with Drakaina.